Ew, ew. No. Oh no, Ronnie, are you muted or am I screwed up? Because I can't hear a thing from you. Oh, please, somebody in the comments let us know if this is a Ronnie thing or a me thing. I'm not sure. Okay, there we go. Hopefully Ronnie's fixing this. Still, I can't hear you. I cannot hear you. No. Oh, this is great. This is good live content. Okay, so nobody can hear Ronnie from what I'm seeing in the comments. So this is a good start. Okay, I think Ronnie just said he's going out. Well, this wouldn't be a Quarantine King show without some screw up. So thank you guys so much for tuning in here on a lovely Wednesday. Hope y'all are having a good night here. Ronnie's going to try to fix his deal, but kind of still a bit of a slow time in sports. I know the NBA's just kind of starting to get going, so we haven't had a ton of storylines. Some of that sweet drama that we're developing over the year, but thankfully we still got NFL heading into the playoffs. We got hockey coming up, so we can definitely talk on that here. I guess right now, Ronnie's kind of dealing with this stuff, so we can't really have the visuals for us here. But we are in the middle of college bowl season, so that is giving us a lot of fun here. There was a funny story that came out of the prestigious Duke's Mayo Bowl today in the Wisconsin-Wake Forest game. Wisconsin goes out there, beats Wake fairly handily. They get the trophy, and within 30 minutes of receiving it on the field, they take it back to the locker room, and they destroy the trophy. Whenever Ronnie comes back on, hopefully he can get those photos up there for us. Yes, I think that might be it. As we spent so much of our budget, Nick, that we actually can't have two people on at once. And of course, it has to be Ronnie's side screwed up because he's the one that controls everything. All I can do is sit here and talk. But when Ronnie gets back on, we'll have photos of that. That was a pretty funny story. But other than that, going on in college football right now, I know last I saw Oklahoma was kind of taking care of business against Florida in their whole game. Here we go.
Hey,
I can hear something. There we go. Here he is.
Oh, it's good to hear my voice. No, I can't hear what I'm saying anyway, but it's good that you can hear my voice. But
indeed.
Thank you for bearing with us there. Shout out to technical director, the Baron, for providing the inside information there.
There it is.
Nick, did the network cut the budget to the point where they cut Ron's airtime? Possibly. I don't know. They tried to keep me off. They can't keep me off. I bootleg my way. I fought my way off hold.
The FCC won't let you be.
Doesn't matter. I fought my way off hold, and I'm back on with you guys. So thank you for joining
There it
me.
is.
Oh, shots at Nick.
There we go.
New York Giants playoff hopes.
There we go.
Nick, your move. But as I was saying, and you were not hearing, thank you for joining us on this Wednesday, the final episode of the year, 2020. Not going to miss it. Not going to miss it. But,
not going to miss it. No.
It did provide the impetus for causing the show. So,
true.
Silver lining. And it gave us Quarantine Thick, which I cannot recommend enough. You saw my sign there. You didn't even need the audio. Just, you probably get the concept.
You can figure it out, yeah.
It's definitely worth a look. So check it out. Now that we can, converse, Tyler, how are you doing on this Wednesday?
Oh, doing good, man. So, I didn't realize how bad this is if it's that's having the technical problems because I don't have like the photos or anything I could pull up. Like I was explaining what happened in the Wisconsin game. I'm like, oh, we don't have a visual for this, so that's great. But no, all in all, doing good. Ronnie, if you could actually pull up the photo of the Wisconsin trophy smash, you just
Yes, I got that.
since I talked about that.
Well, we'll get into the scoreboard here later. Oh, that's the wrong one. Sorry.
Wrong one.
Wrong one. There we go. I'll get it back now. And the Rockets. Rick
Blair.
Francis Scott Coffey. So yeah, also hashtag badges, but whatever. We got the photo here. The very prestigious, the storied history of the Duke's Mayo Bowl trophy has been shattered on the floor of the Wisconsin locker room. Maybe, I don't know. I guess they're returning back to home with a box full of shards of glass. I don't know, but
black day for college football.
At least there wasn't actually mayonnaise in there, because that would be a mess, and I feel bad for whoever has to come clean that up. But I mean, the glass, you could just kind of sweep that up, vacuum that up, no big deal.
No, the mayonnaise was in the Gatorade jug, so they just poured that all over the coach after the game.
You love to see it. They're dousing. Well, they're more slathering the coach with mayonnaise.
But yes, Ronnie, glad to have you back here. I'm doing good on Wednesday. Ronnie, how are you doing today?
Woo, I'm doing well. Long day at work. Took me a little while to get home and actually set up for this. And then, I mean, the sound thing wasn't related to that. That was just a weird glitch. But very busy, but fortunately off tomorrow and New Year's Day. The bank is closed. Happy about that. Going out tomorrow in the morning to Saquon to golf with friends of the program, Braden and Will, former guests on this program. And my favorite thing about Saquon is definitely the golf carts. This is the only picture I could find.
Yeah.
So you see that they've got a little customized seat going, but the lighter color area, snakeskin or gator skin.
Gator skin. Oh, cut from a belly of a baby crocodile.
I mean, I'm sure it's not real, but you know what I'm saying. Just the gators. I mean, they got GPS in the cart, so it's like a rangefinder to tell you how far you are from the hole. They have Bluetooth with speakers. That's how I like to golf. Definitely will be playing Quarantine Thick out there on the links tomorrow. Sorry for anyone that's around us, in hole adjacent or in front, but I will be playing it. But yeah, the gator skin is really where it's at. And usually, I've never seen seats like that in any golf course. That's the only time I've seen it is Saquon. But with the GPS and the Bluetooth and all this other, hoity-toity fancy stuff, probably like country clubs or really nice high-end courses, Saquon is okay, but I mean, it's not crazy. So the fact that they have that in the cart there is pretty sweet, and I love that. And haven't seen Braden and Bill in a minute in person. So actually, I think the last time I did was when we golfed down in Mission Bay. So looking forward to a good day out with the bros, friends of the program. Also, check it out. Will show what's on the menu daily. Did put out their best of today, which I saw a little bit of. I haven't got all the way through it, but highly recommend. Check that out. So now that I'm off for 2 days, much more at ease. I'm just going to watch college football. NBA is getting going. That takes us right into the weekend. And then we get back, to NFL last week of the season. But no, I'm feeling good, better, now that I'm here with you guys, hanging out, talking sports. So again, I can't thank you guys enough for joining. This is, I guess, next shot of this will be in 2021, where everything's totally different. Probably not. But just from a mental standpoint.
Totally expecting at midnight the day will turn over to January 1st, but the 2020 won't change. It'll just stay the same.
No, it's going to be like a Groundhog Year.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's going to be.
But, just from a mental standpoint, it will be refreshing, I think, for everyone just to see 2021. If you have to write the date, it'll just feel a little bit better. For whatever reason, it's not going to be, this huge sea change of whatever's going on right now. But not a big New Year's guy, not planning on having any kind of you can't really go to a big party or anything like that, but just refreshing a little bit to know that we're just going to at least move into the next year and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, definitely. No, I hear you on that one. I think, like for New Year's one year, I went to Vegas. That was it. Like other than that, I'm kind of the same. Not really a big New Year's guy. So, but yeah, it'll be nice. Plus, I don't know. It's always cool to be able to say like the last of something and then the first of something, which we'll be doing on Friday. So that'll be nice.
Exactly. So look forward to that on Friday. We have a huge blowout plan. We're gonna have. I don't
Are we finally going to get Ray Lewis on? Maybe we can finally get Ray Lewis on?
Ray's juking us, man. We had him so close, and then it kept getting pushed back, and now his people are just swerving me every time. I don't know. We're still working on it. I'm hoping the good people at Tito Auto Body will step in on our behalf and sort of flex their muscle as a company and maybe make that happen. But we're waiting on that.
We'll see.
But as Tyler mentioned, we did have the catastrophe, RIP, to the trophy for the Duke's Mayo Bowl. Who knows how much longer it may be named that, because it's changed hands quite a bit, that bowl. But we're getting into a little bit meatier bowl games here with more notable, nationally prominent teams. I did see a little bit of the Alamo Bowl yesterday. Texas is back, baby. Texas is back. But every time they were showing, I was just like looking at the records. But Texas is probably like 6-2 or something. I don't know how many games they ended up playing.
They've got 2 or 3 losses. Yeah.
Colorado is like 4-1. I was like, this is a bowl game. This is 2020. This is weird.
2020, folks.
Wisconsin, as you saw, won and then destroyed the trophy. Savages. And as of this airing, Oklahoma is really putting it down on Florida. But Florida had a lot of guys opt out of playing in this game. Annoyingly, also, Braden is like, Big 12, 4-0. I'm like, you hate all these teams. Don't be the conference guy. Don't be like people that chant SEC in the bowl games. I hate that. You spend all year just talking crap about all these other teams, and then it's like a bowl game. Big 12, yeah.
All right. Then where's my Sun Belt people to go and shit on the Big 12 as they did during this college football season?
Woo!
I want my Sun Belt fans to shoot back at Braden.
That's a clapback. I'm gonna have to bring that up tomorrow. When we're out there with a gentlemanly game of golf.
Also, since I'm sure he's only going to be want to talk about the Padres anyway, so that I guess that's a counter argument for you. But also, I did see the Miami game. I don't know if you got to catch much of the U's game, but how is it that like there's all these great wide receivers that come out of Miami in that Dade County in Florida, and yet the U can't get any of them because their wide receivers were absolutely awful in that game.
Yeah, that is weird. I mean, Miami is definitely on the rise from a recruiting standpoint, and anywhere in Florida, if you're one of the bigger schools, I mean, it's just full of talent. So you're not, even one sort of like, oh, they're coming back in the right direction. You're going to get recruits in there. But that is weird. I mean, all the wide receivers you could think of that have come out of Miami, including the playmaker himself.
That's right.
Kind of a awkward look for Miami. I mean, nice to have them sort of have this bounce back year, but then they really just got embarrassed by North Carolina. Ended up at 18 going into this bowl game. And then Braden's Braden is like Rob Lowe with the NFL hat on. You just wear a hat that just says Big 12. Like, I'm just a fan of the conference. Yeah, sure.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, I guess TCU's bowl game got canceled or whatever, so maybe he's just glomming on to the Big 12 wave. But disappointing for Miami. I hope the U does continue to rise. The U shall rise again, because college football is just always more entertaining when the U is good. Hate them or love them, 100%. It's always better, and I love them. But we need the U back, being prominent.
100%, definitely. Yeah, it's undisputably better when they are good.
Even if you hate them, then they're just a great heel. Like no one is more fun to root for or against than Miami. Like there's no just like casual like, oh, Miami's okay.
You're not indifferent on them. It's extremes with them.
similar to the Raiders in that way. There's no just like, oh yeah, I'm cool with the Raiders. Like, no, it's like I love the Raiders. Like I tattooed my face with the Raider logo, or I hate them and I will never go to a Raider game. And it's a bunch of criminal. It's just extreme polar opposites. But the U also brings out those kind of feelings. But
Very true.
I wanted to talk a little bit about basketball. We haven't had a chance really to dive into the NBA yet so far, and it's early. So I haven't myself really got fully wrapped up in it. Football is really getting down to the well, there you go. We saw Tyler sign there at the beginning. No, you know what? Vlade built this thing, okay? They just ran him out too soon. He laid the groundwork.
If Vlade doesn't pass up on Luka, the Kings don't get Halliburton this year. He's playing 4D chess.
He had a vision. He had a vision.
His vision was dad. His vision was, I hate this fool's dad.
No, his dad was a jerk, so we're not going to get Luka, and that's it. And I'm going to smoke 18 cigarettes right now.
Yeah.
But as football kind of maybe gets deeper in the playoffs, a more clear picture of like, all right, we're getting closer to conference championship, Super Bowl. I'll probably dive more. Well, I guess I should now because the Raiders don't get me started. But it's, we're still getting into the NFL playoffs, which is always a fun time of year. And we're getting into the Premier Bowl games. So once all that sort of is starting to wrap up, I'll dive more into basketball. But just interesting oddities that we're this short in the season that I kind of was looking at this morning. Let's start in the Eastern Conference. Let me take the scroller off here real quick because as you can see, the Bucks.
Sorry, go ahead.
Bucks and the Heat, if the playoffs started today, would not make it.
And the only undefeated team left in the NBA, as I'm sure everybody predicted, the Orlando Magic.
I had it. A futures bet that they would be the last undefeated team. No, I did not. I'm not that much of a degenerate. But
well, you are, but
well, I am. I just didn't have the foresight. Yeah. But the Knicks are in the playoffs as of today at 2-2.
Oh boy!
So you gotta love that. The Cavs sitting as the 4 seed, hosting a playoff series. Gotta love that.
Yep.
It just gets weirder from there. Doc Rivers got the Sixers in shape, 3-1 right now. Embiid's having a good season so far. Got Justin, as far as your Luka body type, couldn't even finish one heater. No, he's not cut for this. No,
he's not built for that life.
Not on my team.
No.
In response to Nick's question, now they're playing an abbreviated season. I believe it's like 56 games, I think was the number. I don't have it in front of me. Start the playoffs now. And you and all Knicks fans and Cavs fans everywhere are clamoring for that to happen. But alas, they will continue to play. But
Ronnie, you had I think we're about to say the same thing. You had the great line when we were doing our pre-show where you said the NBA doesn't officially start until the Knicks are well eliminated from the playoffs.
And in a normal season, the axiom is okay, but the season doesn't. You don't really know who's who, what's what until Christmas, and that's when you really start looking at the NBA, who's for real, who's they've played enough games at that point to know. But in this case, with the short season that started pretty much at Christmas, the season has not begun until the Knicks drop out of that playoff contention, and then we'll start to see like this really lining up to where okay, these are the real teams. But hey,
which in true fashion could actually happen pretty quickly, where they just drop out and are done. But we'll see how long they can hang on for.
Hey, I'm enjoying the ride.
Oh, for sure.
May it never end, Knicks. Let's go.
Also, I think I did tell you. I don't know if you've seen it yet, but shout out to the Pixar movie Soul that had a really good shitting on the Knicks joke in it pretty early in the movie.
Even Pixar is snapping on the Knicks. I mean, I told Tyler when he sent me that. Honestly, joking about the Knicks sucking, it's like that is more prominent in popular culture than just the actual Knicks as a team.
That's true.
That's how much of a joke that franchise has become. And as you know, J.R. Smith has as many rings as the entire franchise of the Knicks.
That's very true.
And Justin, throwing this out. They came to an agreement on the schedule. They're going to run the regular season until the Knicks are at least 15 games back. That will be the cutoff point. And then if they have to go into some kind of contingency plan, start the playoffs, then we'll know. But it only gets triggered when the Knicks are at least 15 games out of the playoffs.
There you go.
I think that's possible, and sooner than later. But we'll see.
Yep.
Sliding over to the West, you have the Suns in first place, Clippers in second, but Tyler's Kings at
Woo!
the 3 seed, 3-1, baby. Gotta love to see that. Ahead of the Lakers.
That's right. And one of those victories is against the first place Phoenix Suns. The other two are somehow against Denver, who the Kings always suck against, but have beaten Denver twice this year. So
they got their number this year.
Kings, look, they've come out the gate looking good. Like I said, Halliburton has been awesome, just stepping right in, looking like a veteran. He's not playing like a rookie. De'Aaron Fox is De'Aaron Fox, a guy that would probably be getting a ton of all-star contention if he was on any other team, but he's in Sacramento. I get it. I ain't mad about it. It's just a fact. They're running. They're running, and I'm loving it.
I'm glad. I've honestly always been.
I'm waiting for the wheels to fall off in true Kings fashion, but I'm loving it.
Ride this wave until the wheels fall off. I mean,
exactly.
3 seed. Can't argue with that. 3-1.
No, not at all.
But I really like Fox as a player. I think still possibly maybe the fastest player in the NBA, honestly. At least like with the ball in his hands. But I became a fan of him, and I'm a fan of Lonzo too. Don't get me wrong. He was a Laker, went to UCLA, and I still root for him on the Pelicans. But he just worked out Lonzo when they played in the tournament, and I was like, this guy is a stud. So I'm a big Fox guy. I'm glad they got him. I think that's a good piece for the Kings, and it's still too early to tell, but that's part of the joy. I don't know when we're ever going to be able to say later this season the Kings are in the 3 spot and the Knicks are in the playoffs.
Yeah, so, I'm with Nick. What was it that our president said? Stop the counting. That's where I'm at right now with this. Stop the counting. It's
Stop
done.
The counting.
Stop it. It's done.
Justin, no way. James Harden's the fattest player. Oh, you said fastest. Yeah, that was you misheard me, but
don't you dare talk shit about Thick Van Axel.
Thick Van Axel, baby. James Harden arteries. We have just some novelties in the stats right now. Julius Randle leading the league in 3-point percentage at 69.2%. I don't know how many attempts that is, but also look at the Knicks just shooting the lights out. They got the top 2 3-point shooters in the league, baby. I don't even know who Alec Burks is, but I mean, there's probably several guys on the Knicks. I don't know who they are.
Maybe is that Ellis Burks' son?
I don't know, but I need to know more. So you see all these novelties. Also, as far as fantasy basketball goes, I don't have the graphic here, but Drummond's having a hell of a year. I think he's leading the league in rebounds. He's second in steals somehow, almost like 3 steals per game. And what was the other one? Blocks. He's like first or second in the league as well.
Yeah.
So I'm sure, he was already going to be drafted in your fantasy draft. But if you got Drummond, you're along for the ride as well.
Dude's a beast down low. He has been since he got into the league, man. That dude works down low hard.
And he looks like ODB. So
he looks like ODB.
Right here. Big baby Jesus. But just, again, move over Steph Curry. James Wiseman, the newest Splash brother. Wiseman is a stud also. I mean, he only played for like 5 minutes at Memphis. But he just looked like he's going to be a problem in the NBA already. And then, of course, he falls to the Warriors. Unfortunately, Thompson gets hurt, so you're not going to really see him at full strength. And who knows how Thompson's going to come back when he does next year, because now this is sort of becoming a thing with him getting hurt. But Wiseman is a nice sort of guy to reload with. If you have like a lost season and you end up getting a Wiseman, like, dang, all right, well, that you're not going to be down for long if you get anything out of Thompson when he comes back. That team's going to be ready to go. And they're going to struggle this year for sure. But Wiseman, I think, is going to be a star in the NBA for sure. At his size, I guess what would you even say? Like pound for pound, the fastest guy in the NBA. The opposite of that, though. Like for being that
Right.
big, he is a freak.
Yeah, he is the heavyweight 100-meter dash champ.
Exactly. Thank you. And one more comment from Nick. Best backup plan to Knicks basketball is wrestling.
Yeah,
Hey,
it's fair.
they're in the playoffs right now. They're making a playoff run. So, and
That's right.
the Giants
they need your
are not
support.
eliminated.
They need your support. Don't back out yet. They're not officially eliminated yet. Give it another week.
Wrestling is much more believable than the Knicks.
Fair. That's
well, the
also
storylines on the Knicks are a little more outrageous than wrestling because what goes on with that team
somehow
it just it never ceases to amaze.
Although I would love to see Dolan put up his ownership against somebody else in some sort of like a horse contest or something.
And I quit match. Now Dolan will never give it up.
No.
But speaking of
he
Justin,
will never retire.
I will never retire. Where's my boy? Oh, yeah.
The answer is yes, you son of a bitch.
Woo! The nature boy. And on that note, and straight from the comments and on to the hotline that we have here, Saboris Colombianos, Celebrity Hotline. Joining us on the program tonight is Mr. No ID Justin himself. Justin, how are we doing this fine evening?
It's good coffee.
Good coffee. Good to hear from you. I don't know if you feel the same way as me, but I just kind of was laying it out there. I'm happy the NBA is back because it gives you just some games on during the week. Until I guess hockey will add into that a little bit too, but when it was just football, you don't have a lot of midweek action. Yes, as we go on, or weird rescheduled games. Like then there were some games going on during the week. But it's nice to have just live pro sports going on sort of just continuously. But I haven't really got like fully ramped up into it yet because football is like kind of getting to the
exactly
summit right now. But I don't know how much have you really dug into it yet this year, or I know you're a Laker fan.
I'm probably similar to you. Sorry, I'm probably similar to you right now, where it's one of those things where I'm like, let's see. Oh, what's up, man? Yeah, that's what's up.
Shout out to Jaime, checking in.
So I think it's one of those things where, as Lakers fans, you're trying to see like how the team can put the chemistry together. You're working in Dennis, you're working in Gasol. There's some guys that have left, so trying to work in a new rotation and then just working the fatigue too, because at the end of the day, these guys, the Heat, I think that's one of the reasons you might see the Heat kind of at a similar level right now in terms of their play. They played not that long ago. You know what I mean? Like these guys had such
a really wasn't.
Yeah. So I think that's kind of the weird thing where like I like that they're doing kind of a crunch down limited regular season. But I think I just hope there's enough time and they can manage the guys' rest and fatigue enough to where they're hitting their stride at the right time, because that's really what basketball is all about, man. You got to be the team who's hot and healthy going into the playoffs, and you just get on a run. So there's other competition out there, but I just think the Lakers still have the best roster top to bottom. And as long as you have Anthony Davis and LeBron playing at a high level, I think you're hard-pressed to beat those guys in a series. But, I mean, bro, Halliburton, Kings are there, man. Kings are right there. I'm not even worried about the Clippers. I'm worried about the Kings. That's what I'm worried about,
The Clippers still have the Clippers effect that can kick in at any moment, and usually at the worst time. But, Kings, look, they're not going to stay as the 3 seed, but I could certainly see them making the playoffs. Like,
100%.
It's early. Anything can happen. Guys can get hurt. Who knows what's going to happen when, teams start getting affected by COVID. But I think they actually have, like, put some pieces together where even in the West, I could see them getting in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah, 100. Well, and again, this is just one of those things. Jeez. This is just one of those things where it's going to be an odd year to sorry, I'm outside. This is going to be an odd year to see to see how teams progress through the year. A lot of these guys, they haven't had this much time off before. Like it's one of those things where you're really going to see the guys separate. They always say, like, in any sport, when you get to the pro level, like how you sustain and how you stay in the pros is what really dictates, your greatness. And I think you're going to see a lot of guys get separated right now in terms of, like, what guys aren't putting in the work, what guys are slacking off, what guys are bullshitting, what guys are, going to the adult ballet, what guys are, doing their thing. So I think that's one of the things that's going to be interesting to see. But again, I'm in the same boat as you, man. Like, hell, dude, we still got a shot, man. We still got a shot. Like, I'm
You
all
had to
in,
bring
dude.
that up.
Like,
You had to bring that up.
There it is.
I'm sorry,
think-
guys. I'm sorry.
Wait. This is killing me because you say you're all in, and I was just thinking, like, 2 months ago, this was a guy that said, like, I can't even watch a Dallas Cowboys game.
It's tough,
True.
man. Football's over for me.
Just completely flipped it.
And that same guy that said he couldn't watch a Dallas football game is still willing every week to be like, man, so I'm watching the game. Blah, blah,
Yes.
blah.
Like, I can't even blame you on that. I'm the same way, so I can't blame you.
And you guys are like my AA sponsors too with that. Both of you. You guys been like,
There you
look,
go.
this is like us. You know what I mean? Like you gotta. I mean, I'm talking to Tyler on the side. And he's like, hey man, field goal kicker was 3 for 3, bro. You know what I mean? So what?
Right? Yep.
Look on the bright side.
So yeah, they're stringing it together. A lot of people, I've even heard a lot of Dallas fans like complaining about the whole, like, oh, we play in the morning and they got flexed to the evening. I prefer it that way. I don't want to have to split screen and be, doing back and forth and monitoring the other game. I'd rather just watch my game, focus in on that in the morning, and then have the rest of my day. If we lose, we lose and it's over. If we win, I just ride it out and then, hope somebody else does something really dumb on that Washington roster before the game starts, like, so we'll see.
Well, we'll get back into the NFC East because that's going to be probably the big, NFL story this weekend. But one thing that you brought up as far as just sort of the overall weirdness of this season, and it's just like been thinking in the back of my mind, like, the rookie wall. Like, yes, they're playing less games this year, but the draft is like 2 weeks before training camp. Like, these guys are just playing with men now. Like, okay, you're like hot shit in college. Everyone's good in college that's in the NBA, but they're just like thrown in there. So that's gonna be interesting to see, like, who can sustain it and who just, like, you can just see them like, oh man, it's a lot of games, a lot of travel. This is my job now. There's no fake school to have to go to and after the draft, whatever. Yeah. But I also did want to get, since Tyler is currently the top dog of us three, as a Kings fan, wanted to get your initial thoughts on this Kings, I wouldn't even say resurgence, just breakout to the season.
Sorry, were you talking to me or Justin when you said?
No, Tyler. You're the Kings fan here.
Nah,
what are you liking? What are you seeing out there?
I'm loving the fast-paced play, but they've been doing that the last few years. Just run up and down the court, run. I mean, their games against the Warriors for the last like 3 or 4 years have been some of the best regular season games you'll see. Look, Fox is amazing. I said it earlier. If he's on pretty much any other team, he's getting all-star consideration, but he's on the Kings, so nobody watches him. Again, just a fact. Not mad about it. It's a fact. Halliburton said, weirdly enough, he said he wanted to be with the Kings to play with Fox. He's been a great fit. He reminds me a lot of Alonzo Ball that maybe can shoot a little bit better. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw that, him step up, just cold-blooded 35-foot three-point yesterday. Amazing. Rashawn Holmes has been a breath of fresh air down low, just a high-energy player. He's not going to be, 20 and 15, but he'll get you, 12 and 10 a night. That's way better than, Willie Cauley-Stein was doing. Still got Buddy Hield. Wasn't sure if he wanted to play, but he's not showing any, he's not showing he doesn't want to be there. I do worry about the depth on the team. I do worry about maybe guys getting tired in the midpoint of the season. You were just saying it's even though it'll be a shortened season, it's still a long season. This ain't college. There's still 50 games playing, every other night. It'll wear on you. You need some time off. But, I'm not unrealistic. I'm laughing. They're 3-1 in third place right now. If they could just make the playoffs, man,
I ride that thing.
I would lose it if they could just make the playoffs. They haven't made the playoffs since just after we graduated high school.
Listen, man, we just passed. We're almost at New Year's, and you guys control your own destiny, bro. I mean, what more could you want?
Yeah.
And we got to look at it this way too. I mean, as it shakes out, because I do think the Kings have a chance to be a legit playoff team, not at the 3 spot, but in that 8. Lakers are probably going to be somewhere at the top.
Of course.
What if we get a Lakers-Kings first-round series? I don't even know what that will do to the chemistry on this show. It might get violent. Might be some furniture in the tent.
Yeah, we haven't seen that in a while since since the NBA screwed the Kings out of the playoffs in Game 6. But it
was Donaghy, bro. It's not the Lakers' fault.
There might be some misunderstandings if that does happen. We'll see. We'll see when the Kings got to make it work.
Yeah, malice in the backyard palace. That's what it would be.
There we go. Where's my Steven Jackson?
Side, Kings make it as the 2 seed. Well, that means the Lakers-Kings matchup, the inevitable Lakers-Kings matchup in the playoffs will be way later and way more high stakes then.
That would be. I don't know if I'd handle that. I'm too fat, man. I don't think my heart would be able to take it.
The last thing, just to kind of put a button on the NBA that I've noticed as far as that's really stuck out to me watching some of the games that I've seen, is now there's no bubble. I mean, the season was pretty much done, and they did a really good job with the bubble. They didn't really have any positive tests. I mean, it was just we just got to finish out the season, play the playoffs. The teams are essentially all seeded except for a couple at the bottom. But once you kind of got used to seeing the bubble on TV, it was different, but it sort of felt like a video game. It was a little, they had the video wall, they had whatever the crowd noise, but now that everyone's playing in their own arena and there's no fans anywhere, it's weird. It seems like a pickup game kind of. It seems like they're just running in an empty gym. So I don't know if, some teams are looking at maybe doing some kind of video thing or just something for the presentation wise. Staples Center doesn't look terribly different because they do that, where they cut the lights off on the seats really, but it still feels a lot different. So that's the most visually standout thing to me. Any arena, any game, it's just kind of like a morning shoot around. There's just no one there and it's so big.
Did you guys ever play 2K, any of the 2K games back in the day at any point? So how cool would it be if we could get that chase cam where it's behind the guy with the ball and it just you see his view and then it just shoots around if he passes it, boom, they shoot it over to behind the guy who's got the ball. It's just the ball cam. That would be amazing, dude.
That'd be nice. Yep.
You try something different, at this point, it's tough.
Fox had the weird blurry cam in that Cowboys game, so there's probably a way they could do it.
That was really weird. That was why were they it seemed like they were I think you actually mentioned it. Yeah, they kept focusing on the wrong guy. Why is that guy really easy to see? It didn't
I'm
make
sure
sense.
they could, sort of dial that in because I wasn't a fan personally, but there was some people that were into it. So, if people are overwhelmingly in favor of it, they're going to keep doing it. So they can probably improve it. And there was some times when it was kind of a cool effect. It just kind of looked like it was like a video game. But it was funny because first week out, whatever, them trying it, when someone would score a touchdown and then they only have the one shot. So they get the focus cam and it's just focusing on the wrong guy. So then when they go to commercial, they're playing the same clip in slow motion and we can't get another one that already happened. And it's just the wrong guy in focus. And then the person that actually scored a touchdown just all blurred out.
Yeah,
they just
CD Lamb's in the end zone celebrating, but the focus is on the lineman 30 yards downfield, jogging to the end zone.
Yeah, he made a key block, bro. Don't worry about it. He made a key block.
Always give the props to the line. You know me.
I think, I do think we're going to see maybe not that specific thing. That's kind of like Fox's weird project they're working on. But more sort of, especially in the national games, ESPN, TNT, that sort of thing, more creative sort of camera angles or different presentation tricks, or maybe even like a superimpose like a video wall. If it's they're not going to just set that up in every arena, but I think as the season goes on, they're going to do more things to kind of make it feel a little more like there's not people there, but just more like alive, but that was the first thing that hit me. Just any arena, like you can go Milwaukee, Indiana, Laker game, like it's just there's no one there. Like it started out, the Lakers ring ceremony, no one there. Like it just feels weird. So they'll get through it. I mean, I think that the teams that everyone knows is good. It's going to sort itself out.
Sure.
But the vibe is definitely different watching it on TV. Just the presentation of it in all these empty arenas everywhere.
Maybe they could do like just for like a minute, to kind of like maybe make people feel like they're in the stadium. Have a cameraman go sit up in like the nosebleeds because that's all the average show can afford, and like just film for a minute there.
Yeah, exactly. Especially at the Laker game, it'd be way up in the 300 section, just trying to squint and be like, I can only see the tall guys.
You'd be in the bar at LA Live because that's way cheaper than actually going to the game.
That's true.
Yeah.
They should just really make it feel real and just have a guy filming like a TV at Chili's, because that's the only place I can afford to watch it at.
Exactly.
Oh man, it's like a real game.
Every now and then it pans down to your chicken crispers.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, can I get some ranch over here? Thanks, you're the best.
Start arguing and getting into a fight with some dude on the other end of the bar that's rooting for the other team.
That
just
does
to get
happen.
that real feel. I mean, we can't even go to a sports bar now, so just something to make it feel, more normal. But I think they're going to come up with some weird tweaks to it. But since we do have, like I said, I have broadened you out to NFC East insider now at this point, because you're the only one that follows it as closely as. Yes, you're a Cowboy fan, but as far as what's at stake, you've got to be following it day by day, minute by minute. Like things change fast over there. So as far as this weekend, what are you? I mean, obviously you're looking for a Cowboys win, but I mean, what are you expecting to see this weekend? We got the two games of contention there in that division. So what are you looking for here?
I mean, obviously we're in the morning, which is good. Get up, get settled, watch that one. I'm hoping we can just run the ball again. We were good at running the ball. Dalton finally put up those 3 tutties I've been trying to predict for like a month.
He's peaking right now. He's peaking.
Yeah. So I just think there was some things that they could exploit in the coverage last week, and I think there'll be some things this week as well. But I mean, Giants have good safeties. Giants have a solid secondary. They tend to play us well always. One of those division games, the cliche, remains true. So I think if we can establish the run a little bit, and I talked with you guys last week before the game and said, that was an outlier that we forced those first half turnovers. But it happens twice in a row, man. You got to start calling it a trend. So if the defense can still play timely and maybe force a turnover or two, obviously that helps. I mean, everything's on the line, and as a Cowboys fan, this is normally where the team just shits themselves and plays like garbage and lets you down. But I'm hoping the fact that they should be going in knowing that those guys are playing at night, so it's just win the damn game, do your job, and then see what happens in the evening. So
put the pressure on them, yeah.
Yeah, I expect as long as Andy Dalton can stay upright and we can get get a good decent run established. We don't need long ones, obviously, but I didn't see as much Pollard as I would have liked to. But hopefully that's different this week. But yeah, and then as far as the evening game, man, that's a really hard one to call. I guess they said, is Alex Smith going to play in that evening game? Is that something that
I haven't heard anything decisive yet.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be the insider. I know.
So, I'm efforting right now.
Yeah, in terms of Alex Smith, whether he goes or not, I know it's Heineke. I made the comment that Dwayne Haskins, first it was the Heine, then it was the Heineken. and then it was the Heine, and then it was the
That's how that progression goes. Yep.
yeah, like that's what took your job, man. So Taylor Heineke, I don't know if he's playing or not, but Eagles are not good. I know Jalen Hurts is solid, but they can't play a lick of defense, and Washington has probably the best group of guys to get after a quarterback. I think they have the best set of pass rushers in football. So I just hope that again, there's just if it's Heineke or Alex Smith, I hope the Eagles can somehow get some turnovers, because I don't see them winning a game straight up, just back and forth. No turnovers. Hurts can make some plays, he can put some points on the board, but yeah, that one's a lot tougher to predict for me. Obviously, I gave you my rundown of the Cowboys game, and I'm biased in that one, so I have to pick the Eagles. You know what I mean? I don't really have a choice. So,
well, I mean, what I've seen in that division, like pretty much all four teams at different points in the year, because it was just such a shit show. Like there was a couple weeks there where I was like, oh, Washington realizes they could still win this, or the Giants, or even the Eagles. Like Hurts kind of shot some life into the offense. Like, okay, we still have a chance, and I feel like Dallas is hitting that right now, and it might just be the last team to kind of get that little wave of momentum. It's going to be the push over the line. So I don't know, because it's just been so weird all season.
It is,
but it's just weird to see teams that have terrible records, big flaws everywhere. The Cowboys defense or Giants offense, but then they just oh, we kind of have a taste of it, and then they start oh, they kind of look like a legitimate team, as far as just win the next game, kind of thing, forget whatever. And it may be the case that if they're the ones just hitting that latest, they could get in there. So I don't know.
I think the thing that saddens me the most too is that I really early in the year, that Heineken life, baby. early in the year, I had really predicted that a 5-11 team was going to win the division. So part of me is kind of
not too far off. Not too far off.
There's a slim chance that a 6-10 team could win it. It's not going to happen, Nick. But it's 7-9. I mean, it's whatever it is, they're going to host the Buccaneers most likely. That NFC seems pretty. The NFC seems pretty preset right now. My apologies, gentlemen.
Justin calling it from Fontana Speedway.
I was just going to say the exact same thing.
Yeah. Okay. What was that?
I got the late models out there tonight. Yeah. The super stocks or the late models?
Yeah.
Oh man, he ran it in 6.9.
You got John Force out there.
So it was that guy. I'd love to hang out with that guy.
I would too, actually.
But yeah, no, it's gonna be wild, man. I think it's gonna be a fun Sunday. I think it's gonna be cool seeing Rodgers go into Soldier Field. Bears got something to play for. Rodgers wants to lock up the 1 seed so they can, have the bye and host at Lambeau. So it's gonna be a crazy week, man. Going into last week, and just for a season we didn't think we were gonna get this far in this season. So that's awesome.
I really did not. Yeah. And as far as teams not in the NFC, the Bears kind of feel like one of those teams too. They just sort of felt like, okay, we blew our chance, but now there's still a chance, and they're just kind of hitting their stride right now. So who knows?
I don't understand how you have David Montgomery at your disposal and on your roster for the amount of time he's been on the Bears. He's had games. I know he had a couple games his rookie season. It's why? How do you have that guy on your team and you don't just say we're going to give this guy the ball 30+ times a game? It makes no sense. It's like I was talking about Stefanski earlier in the week. The Browns, Kevin, he's he comes in with the Browns and he's like, all right, top 3 wide receivers out. I got Kareem Hunt. We got Nick Chubb. I'm chucking 54 times. Why do you do that? That makes no sense. Those are those guys that overthink. You know what I mean? They use the reverse psychology. He's gonna think I'm doing this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this.
How it's just sort of being the president. You gotta have even if you're a more humble type guy, just any president. You still have pretty freaking huge ego to have that job. And I think if you're any kind of even offensive, defensive coordinator, head coach, obviously, like you have to have at least a little bit of that. Like I'm the smartest guy in this room. Like you can't have too much because you're not,
Yeah.
but you have to have that belief. But that's when it goes wrong. Just like we got this. Like I got it right. Like no one's gonna see this coming. Like okay,
No.
we didn't see it coming, but it's terrible. You should do something else. Like there's still time left in the game. Like why are we just continuing to do that?
Yep. We're up against it here, so I think we're gonna have to cut this conversation short here.
Thank you, gentlemen. Finish up strong.
One more from Nick. He can't wait. Can't wait.
Hey,
See
wait.
you Sunday.
Yes, he can.
Can't wait.
Yes, he can. Believe me, he can. It'd be brutal.
Thank you, Justin, for
bloodbath.
hopping on with us.
Thank you so much, man.
We will see how this all shakes out. And we will get back with you guys on Friday. Thank you for joining us tonight. We'll see you in the new year, Tyler.
I gotta get
us
back
out
to the
of here.
pits, man. I gotta get back to the pits.
Back to the pit.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hope y'all have a safe and fun new year. I know there's not many parties, not really any party going on, so I guess just enjoy the quiet time. Although people will probably still, I know in my neighborhood, people will still be shooting fireworks and shooting guns. So, but thank you so much for tuning in. We will see you in the new year. We love you. You guys know the drill. Keep the fire.
Keep the fire.